So what's going to happen?
We're going to try to go down the track.
What did you bring with you?
I brought a few beers,
A few?
pack of cigarettes.
And I gotta tell you, the fastest cars in the nation are coming here, and it's the best track.
Manifest goes 638 with an automatic transmission, with no nitrous, with no turbo, with no blower. 638, and he goes home.
That was April 2009, as our first look at Cook came a few months earlier at the Streetcar Super Nationals. It's here where we'll begin a rather lengthy look at perhaps the most iconic sight in all of drag racing, the wheel stand. the 2008 Las Vegas Points meet, Alberta's Trevor Lebsack found some big hook at the High Desert facility. Later that same night, top sportsman #1 qualifier Greg Tucker of Lindsay, Oklahoma had this wild ride. What better way to begin than with Stock and Super Stock, where sky-high launches are the norm and wheelie bars fine-tuned instruments that can mean the difference between a round win or a new oil pan. In the great Pacific Northwest, there is but one strip synonymous with these cars. The track that played host to the first Stock 9, the first Super Stock 7, and more bent back bumpers than any place on earth, Mission Raceway Park. Super Stockers, there's nothing more impressive than a Hemi car with a front end in the air. Two local drivers are Peter Woolley from Victoria in his 68 Barracuda stick car and Mission's own Jim Isherwood, who wheels this big, bad E-automatic 67 Belvedere. Guys are pretty cool. Here's a few old school cars, followed by some new generation of class wheel standards.
possession.
Wheel stands come in many forms, so it's pretty hard to imagine seeing something truly unique when it comes to cars launching on two wheels, especially full-bodied street cars that are driven to the track. Here's Wayne Friesen in his 351 Windsor-powered 4-speed 64 Fairlane. Cool car, but back in July 2009 was having some wheel stand issues. Not only are some of the wheel stands rather unique, but so are some of the drivers. Back in 2006, we got our first look at a pretty crazy Chevrolet that was hooking wheelies like mad. Seems like some guys really don't care a whole lot how quick they can go, but how much air they could put under the front end. This big, bad, black flamed Malibu was just way too much fun to watch. So when it returned in 2009, we just had to meet the driver, who we'll simply call what everybody else calls him, Elvis.
Morning, Larry.
Well, Elvis, I haven't seen you out for a little while. We missed the little wheel standing Chevelle.
Well, we're going to take it easy this morning, this first run, just kind of work the bugs out. But I think by the end of the day, I think it's going to hit the tires. I got to be careful, though. I haven't driven it in a couple of years, so I want to take it real easy.
Black, mean looking.
And it's not just the domestic iron that can yard the front end. This is Darren Dillian, one of the quickest Beetles in the country.
does that look as exciting from inside there as it does from the outside?
I can't see it.
That was Gordy Wagner at the Eagle Motorplex in Ashcroft, BC. Now here's a few mission racers laying the hook down.
I think so.
God damn it. We got in a bad spot, Bert.
Yeah, like she wouldn't turn over. You know, I tried to get her to the center of the line, she wouldn't move. So, you know, but that's because no burnout, that's what's going to happen.
But if there's one place to see wheelies of all kinds, it's when those wild and crazy racers of the Pacific Streetcar Association come to the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The combination of superb track prep and seasoned drivers who live with the fact that big wheelies come with the territory provides plenty of wheels-up action.
happens.
gnarly happens, man. I don't know. It's one of those days, I guess.
That fire looked pretty scary, though. You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine. Safety Safari was right there, and they took care of me and able to get out of the car. No big deal.
Was there any fire inside the car?
Yeah, it was on fire. It wasn't on. I actually thought nothing was wrong with the car going down the track, and then as soon as the chute came out and I started slowing down, that's when the fire came inside the car. That's when I knew it was on fire.
And you got her stopped as fast as you could, and the guys were there real quick?
Yeah, I just kept rolling it down, and I saw the Safety Safari coming, so I kind of met him halfway and stopped and had everything off already and clicked my belts off and they tried yanking me out, and I got stuck on something because I'm a big fat guy and it's hard for me to get out. So they said, "Come on, man, get out." And I said, "All right, hold on, I'm coming." Got out, and then they put it out, and that was the end of it.
And you've done wheel stands before.
Yeah.
Just another big one to add to the list?
I guess so, man. This car likes to do them, I guess. I don't know. Can't figure it out.
Well, it's good to see you here with a smile on your face.
Thanks,
and,
buddy. Thanks for coming out.
Did you win the race?
Yeah, we won, so I guess it's all right.
What's up? Nitro time.
We'll begin our look at Nitro in the spring of 2007 at Seattle, where a number of cars were running exhibition at the National Open. It was here we got our first look at Bucky Austin's new Aero funny car and the Bubble Up Firebird driven by Terry Kapp at Edmonton, Alberta. Throw in some fuel altereds and nitro slingshots, and yeah, it was a pretty cool show. Any way you look at them, wrecks are a part of this sport and a part of this video. We won't dwell on them all that much, so without further ado, here's a little bit of carnage for you.
I'm not leaking water. I'm good.
Driver Don Wilson, who had come back in this car in 2009, gave us a few words.
Yeah, I just couldn't get it to settle down, Larry. And over she went.
You been squirrely like that before?
Yes. I've seen everything there is to see out there, Larry.
Well, it's good. It was good seeing you climb out of the top. So.
Yeah.
That was Hot Street competitor Dan Bott from a town in Arizona named Carefree. You don't see this very often, as both Gary Brandt in the Mustang and Craig Williams hit both walls. The Camaro driver was later quoted as saying he hit the brakes a little hard after seeing the Ford lose it in front of him. Our first chance to get a look at the nostalgia floppers at Mission Raceway Park came a couple of months later at the National Open, where 8 cars showed up for what would prove to be a record-setting event.
Savage. Savage is the 8th and final member of the club.
Back in 2007, the Nitro Nostalgia Floppers were new, and in what was actually a points race for the fledgling Nostalgia Funny Car Association, there were 2 spots left in their prestigious Autometer 5-second club. After testing Friday and qualifying on Saturday, where nobody had yet run a sub 6-second number, many on hand felt that Sunday conditions were just right, but few were ready for the greatest single day of performance in the short history of this category.
Getting there first, he's in the 5-second club, ladies and gentlemen. 592 with a 231 miles an hour for Terry Kapp and the Lord Cole Lane. What do you think?
Fantastic. It looked like Lee Paul stumbled a little bit, might have shook the tire, had to pedal a little bit, or he'd have probably been right there next to him.
The Autometer 5-second club gets cut off at 8 members, and you just saw member number 7, Terry Kapp.
So Edmonton driver Terry Kapp claimed the 7th spot in the 5-second club. And after a 6 flat the day before by Bucky Austin, everybody expected the Northwest hitter to take the 8th as he lined up beside Mike Savage in the Speed Sport Barracuda. Win that saw Savage cross the finish line first, it would be determined that he would get the 8th spot despite Austin's 591, which at the time was the quickest run ever by one of these cars. The stage was set for a rather anticlimactic semifinal round, followed by a simply stunning final.
Fantastic, and there's your 580 on the board, 585 for Terry Cap. Unbelievable, good side-by-side run. What a show from the Nostalgia Fuel Funny Cars. Sorry, thanks for the great show, you guys.
A name that's been known at Mission Raceway for many, many years. Terry Cap, welcome back. Man, what a show.
It was a blast. We enjoyed it from the minute we got here. Brought back old memories, except I was a little confused because last time I actually raced here with a top fuel car and a funny car was on the other side of the river, I'm sure. But anyway, we managed to find the drag strip, and I got a tremendous amount of people here that really operate the thing very, very well. We're pleased with how Wally treated us and all of the cleanup staff and the guys down in the big end and the safety people, and it was just phenomenal. Of course, we came here with one thing in mind. We wanted to run that 5 and get in that 5-second zone with the elite group of these Nostalgia Funny Cars, and we did that, and our next mission was to win the race, and we did that. And I guess we set a national record. We ran a 5:92 this morning in qualifying, which we had to back up with within 2%. Well, our final run, I believe, was a 5:85 and 2:49, which is numbers and ETs of this nature have never been reached with Nostalgia Funny Cars. But of course, we got a tremendous crew. The car owner, Ron Hodson, and crew chiefs Roland Leong, legendary for all his Hawaiians, and of course Gordon Jenner, a Calgarian that's been racing with us all for many, many years.
And we're going to see this car again in the Northwest at Seattle in August, hopefully?
Absolutely. We're in Seattle at Bucky's Race. We're also racing in Spokane, and I believe we're racing in Edmonton in August. But it's a Northwest car. We're Northwest guys, and we're proud to be Canadians.
And you're well known for a lot of the old guys from the Wheeler Dealer dragsters, but there were, what, a couple of Wheeler Dealer funny cars, a Mustang Vega or something like that?
We had a Vega funny car, Wheeler Dealer funny car, and a Mustang funny car as well. And we predominantly raced them locally. However, we did venture up here and we raced in Seattle, with all them big 64, 32 funny car deals. Also Portland, we raced those cars. Bernie Federley and I went to high school together, and he crew chiefed all the cars that I was involved with until I lost him in 81 when he went to California. And of course, prior to that, with the Wheeler Dealer Top Fuel car, we won the U.S. Nationals. We raced the Wheeler Dealer car for 1 year after that with Rob Flynn, who's another famous crew chief that works for David Powers Group, with Rod Fuller, who incidentally won the race in Denver today. So we've had a history of some good guys hanging around making heroes out of a lot of drivers.
And you've done the big time stuff, like you say, won Indy a little while ago. Is this a fun deal with something like this?
This is, because the pressure is off. We're not competing with a bunch of top drawer professional guys. Not saying that any of these cars out here, anything to shake a stick at. They're all high caliber guys, and they're a little more mature like we are, but not necessarily. The old guys are pretty damn smart. You got to put it. It cost us a lot of gold to get this silver, man.
Then in August '07, the Northwest hitter Bucky Austin brought in a bunch of nitro nostalgic cars for what had the makings of a fabulous race.
Where's the driver for this guy?
Right here.
Stepping that bad boy? Or do you want to sit out here? Hey, Roger, you want to hop in this guy?
We need a car to run.
We're going to run these guys, and then we're going to come back over.
We're the only fuel car up here right now.
God is in a small tractor. Well, we should have got a flashlight for fire. And I would have a big fire extinguisher in the truck. Everybody's lined up behind us. I know, because you're in the wrong lane.
Right now, I'm going to pull a little bit. Take a break. Head on over to the snack bar, grab yourself a break. They're open right now.
Alright. Where's that one at? That one is
15 miles an hour. Remember, one wheel bars and a heck of a balance in that. You're just about to see that as those Harley Nitro bikes are lined up.
Unfortunately, that infamous north wet weather put an end to this one after just a very few runs down the Pacific Raceway Strip. November 8, 2008 at Las Vegas will forever be hailed as the time and place of one of the greatest performances in competition eliminator history. Jirka Kaplan from Calgary, Alberta, in his 371-inch Les Davenport tuned altered laid down the quickest comp pass ever. If there's one thing about drag racers, it's their cat-like ability to stay in control during a run. It's often the difference between not only winning or losing, but keeping out of harm's way. There's a fine line between staying with it while on the very edge of control, knowing when to lift, and also knowing when to get back on it. It's one of the many aspects of the sport that makes it so exciting to watch. So sit back and enjoy this educational look from that infamous school of stab, steer, and grab another gear. Let's begin at a drag strip in Medicine Hat, Alberta, where we get to see a ride aptly named Flirtin' with Disaster. Chris Chappelle from Grandora, Saskatchewan drives this 48 Fiat Topolino that you can only truly appreciate in slow motion. At this same event in 2007, Regina's Bruce Schmiedel got his 32 Bantam all the way to the finish line before providing a little excitement.
Fortunately, Derek broke out. Bruce Schnoll goes with a 7.26 and 100.
Ah, yes, the big end, where the speeds are big and the excitement even bigger. Here's Sean O'Bannon at the Seattle Points Race in June 2008. And it can happen oh so quickly, as Terry Spargo and Roy Mosnick clearly show. And then there are some guys who simply feel that there is no such thing as too much horsepower. Take Chris Murphy, for example. These guys never quite got this combination figured out, but man was this thing fun to watch in slow-mo. To transition into our next section, we go back to the strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway to introduce you to Steve Cook driving this way cool 69 Roadrunner. The wild man from Alaska takes the term stab and steer quite literally. Trouble is, it's kind of hard to steer when the front wheels are off the ground.
I thought it was going to be a butt plugger, man. I thought it was going to run him over.
Because you weren't going to lift. You know,
well,
if you had to,
I saw him coming in the lane and I just shut it off because you could hit him anyway.
Well, everything's okay. Round 2, right?
Again.
Well, it beat.
2008 saw the Nitro Flops return to mission. This time 9 cars showed up, including a number of entries not at the previous meet. Former Northwest star Twig Ziegler was here licensing in a great-looking revamp of his unique Pizza Haven satellite. Alberta's Jay Majot was on an early outing in his now Nitro 57 Chevrolet. Another Alberta shoe, Mike Grekel, was at the wheel of the new Pfluger and Geiger Mustang out of the Bucky Austin Steve Pfluger stable. After a number of test runs here throughout the season, Mr. Explosive Mark Sanders had his Nova ready to race and we got our first look at the peddler car, driven by Chris Crable and owned by GT Bicycles founder Gary Turner.
miles an hour. Lucky Outfit is right there, 588 at 235 miles as well.
Awesome weekend. We started this deal back in Bakersfield, March of 2008. Very first race we went to the finals on the B side of the funny car deal. Bucky won the A side. I was runner-up to Chris Crable, and it's just been getting better ever since. The car runs stronger every time we come to a race, and the crew is fantastic. I can't say enough about everybody.
This is the first time you've been to Mission Raceway?
First time. Well,
obviously.
yeah, first time I've raced at it. I was here last year actually, but fantastic racetrack, smooth as can be. The shutdown area is smooth. It's a beautiful track.
And hey, you weren't just running quick and winning races. You're putting on a show, big, long, smoky burnouts, just having some fun, huh?
Absolutely, that's the way we like it.
And some of the people to thank on this deal.
Oh man, it starts with Steve Pluger, my dad, Ed Grekel, and the whole crew, Paul Tribute, Frank Aldana, George Spillers, everybody. I mean, the whole crew is fantastic. Bucky, of course. Bucky's got this whole show rolling, and now we got 2 bad cars out there, so it's going to get real interesting from here.
Any orders in the final, or go for it?
Just go for it. Nope, both cars are identical. As you can look at the ET slips, and they were identical through the lights. Right from the starting line to the finish line, they were side by side.
Did you have any tense moments on the weekend?
Yeah, a few tense moments. Nothing serious. We set off fire bottles last round. We had to get those replaced, and but other than that, well, all in all, good weekend.
I don't have a fire suit on at all. I have a flame-proof t-shirt.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do a wheelie. There's just as many ways to blow stuff up. Here's a few.
Did have my money on the white car. Unfortunately, he just left us some drive shaft parts on the track. So we're gonna have to clean that up. You got a few minutes for a break, stretch your legs, maybe grab a little something to eat, grab a hot coffee, maybe a burger or something like that.
Of all the stuff that can go boom in the night, few are more spectacular than Top Fuel motorcycles. We'll begin with Damian Cowden at the Mission Open in July 2008, followed by the legendary Doug Vansel at Las Vegas later in the year. Oh, Damian Cowden from Victoria, a couple of weeks after a big win in Edmonton. Come out here to Mission last night, and man, he set off some fireworks. What happened?
Well, the theory is we had a lean condition. Our computer doesn't agree, but bottom line is we heard the motor, blew a hole in the head, and put on a good show for the fans. Yeah, the combustion chamber of the head here, you can see where the hole, it literally turns the aluminum into fluid. It just melts it, disintegrates it. The nitromethane, you know, when it explodes, is so powerful, it just disintegrates this, and you see almost dust all over the whole bike, this gray dust. That's literally melted aluminum. This is the barrel or the cylinder. You can see where it came out here, and this is steel, and it's just gone. It just literally liquefies with the explosion, and a few other little incidentals, but we should be all right today. Bottom end of the motor still good, piston was fine.
And it's the kind of thing where it happens so quick, you really don't even know much about it, huh?
I barely even saw anything. I saw just the smallest little flash in front of me, but when I saw the videos, I was pretty impressed. I don't want to do that anymore ever again, but yeah, it looked very impressive, I'm sure.
And like we said earlier, and your weekend started off with just a little bit of excitement. You ever done anything like that before?
Yeah, not really torching it that bad. The threads must have failed in the head, and out about 40 feet it torched then the front head. On the first pass when it was nighttime, good air, so we probably would have run good.
The Nitro Nostalgia Funny Cars came back to MRP in 2009 and included a few more new faces and a couple of new cars to go along with those familiar entries from the past 2 years.
Our pre-race ceremonies here at Mission Raceway. First car in the section.
testing a new program here, trying something new, and it's giving us the same results as we had before, but not tearing up pistons. So might be onto something now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's
I was impressed with it. I liked what I saw.
Goes to the number 1 spot. 585, 233.40 miles per hour. Tim Nimitz.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is something every time I go to Ron's office, I see all those lollies and I go, I got to get me one of them. I didn't think we'd get it this soon, but awesome to have it, and we're proud of it. And Bob and Roland did a great job in the car, and Dan and Doug. I mean, it's just spectacular. The car worked great.
Man, a whole shot win against Hitter in the semifinals, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I knew we had our work cut out for us because, you know, them guys run the numbers, and we got to catch up to them a little bit.
And you stepped it up for the final?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Roland gave us a little bit more and take us to the end, so that's what helped us out.
You're starting to feel comfortable in this thing already?
Oh yeah, the car's good. I feel real good in it because it was made for me, so I fit everything. Can grab everything really easily, so that's what's good about it. It's really nice and comfortable.
So next question, is it more fun than a dragster?
It's just different fun. They're all good fun, man.
Well, congratulations. Hopefully
Thanks,
we'll see you back here again.
You bet, Larry. Thank you.
If there's one thing synonymous to drag racing, it's the burnout. That tire toasting sacrifice to the gods of rubber that comes in many forms. There's the unintentional burnout, as seen here by Ernie Fitzpatrick at the wheel of the 65 Hemi Coronet. Then there are the traditional extended Smokies, courtesy of a trio of Northwest Door Slammer pilots, Frank Temez, Lane Woolley, and Bob Cocatello in the original WJ Superman Firebird. At the 2008 Streetcar Super Nationals in Las Vegas, Pro Street driver Randy Kay was consistently hammering out great burnouts before experiencing the kind of problems you only get in a door slammer. Of all the so-called burnout kings we've seen over the years, there's one who has taken the smoke show to levels few achieve. Knowing he's not the fastest car out there, Klaus Reitsma finds other ways to grab the attention from all those fast guys.
Oh my God! Gotta be Canada West Door Slammers, we will have a meeting at Grand House Trailer in 5 minutes.
Holy smokers!
Holy smokers!
My eyes, I'll just leave it. My eyes were watering, and I was gasping for air, and I thought I got to shut the thing off and get out of the car because it was just so full in there. Holy smokers!
Good one, man.
So what did we do?
We got a little. We put some little marks on the track.
Apparently there's some marks there. I don't know who did those ones, but apparently that was me.
Good job, buddy. You have fun?
Oh, great time. Thanks for videotaping.
Who are them sponsors?
It is Cool Coat, Slush Buddies, BJ Kohler, Premium Auto Parts, Super Graphics.
Those tire guys.
Yeah, the Slush Buddies. They're the weird group. There are a couple that I met at Jimmy Mac's pub out in Port Kell.
Enough said.
And finally, we move to funny cars, where Alberta driver Ron Sikora is using every bit of horsepower in his Alki car in an effort to bring back the long-lost tradition of the quarter-mile burnout.
You made some fans today too with that way down the track stuff.
Wow, we certainly want to make everybody happy, and we had a lot of fans come down and talk to us. It was pretty fantastic for everybody.
Like we said earlier, it's all about fun, and man, you guys had tons of that.
We had, our crew is having the most fun here. It's so great.